my autobiography, I did Arnold Schwarzenegger. I did Arnold Schwarzenegger because I like lifting, and Arnold's one of the greatest bodybuilders in the world. This is the gym. Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, Mr. Schwarzenegger, tell us a little something about yourself. I was born in Thal, Austria in 1947. I lived with my father, Gustav, and my mother, Elenia, along with my older brother, Meinhard. Arnold, what were some of your greatest struggles growing up as a child? Growing up in Austria was pretty tough. It was a big struggle because my mother would always have a hard time putting food on the table for us, but she always made it, so always had food. And it was rough for me personally because my father always liked my older brother more than me because he was always more athletic. And I told him I had dreams of bodybuilding, and he just laughed at me and he would beat me. So it was pretty tough. Growing up in a household with such negativity, what did you do to cope with this? To cope with all this, I escaped by watching movies. Bodybuilding movies was a big thing of mine, and Hercules was one of my favorites. And that made me realize that I had a lot of compassion and love for lifting and bodybuilding, and that's where I wanted to eventually go to the States and compete with all the other big bodybuilders there. Arnold, what was the biggest turning point in your life? A turning point in my life was definitely meeting Joe Weider, because Joe Weider is a bodybuilder, and he was bodybuilding before I started, and he's Canadian, and I grew up reading his magazines, and that was definitely influenced my career as bodybuilding to start with, and he saw potential in me, and he really thought that I could be something big and in the sport. And so he took a chance on me, and he brought me to the States, and he was my trainer, and that's really how it started.
The cup.
Arnold, so what were some of your greatest bodybuilding accomplishments? Well, I've come a long way bodybuilding since 15 years old. I won 5 Mr. Universes and 6 Mr. Olympias. So, Arnold, was there any other things that interest you besides just lifting? My favorite movie I ever acted in was definitely the Terminator series because it was pretty sick. I'd just like to thank you, Arnold, for the interview. This was great. Thanks for telling us about your life, and we're all out of time. Thank you.